You guys an update here on the channel. I'm working on my trailer, of course, and I'm starting the process of doing my sewing. And so I bought a sewing machine. I'll show that to you real quick. I bought a sewing machine off of the internet. It came from a Minky Couture factory. It's a Juki DLN 415, and it takes oil. I had to do a little oil change. The oil's underneath here. It's used, of course, but should be fine. I've got the thread loaded on there, and I've got the my new batting. The interior was kind of shot on there in the inside, as you probably know in some of my other videos, but now I'm in the process of outfitting the inside with this. So first piece is going to be up here. I'm going to do the centerpiece, get the square all sewed in, so that when I put it in here, I can sew the sides to the centerpiece. So it's going to be a little challenging, especially because I've never sewn before. So anyway, that is what's going down right now, and I'm going to begin my process of learning how to sew. So wish me luck, and you guys can watch along. I got to get this cut. It needs to be 13 feet 4 inches for the centerpiece, and the two side pieces might be a little bit shorter, depending on if I carry them all the way down the sides. But hopefully I bought enough. If not, I'll have to order some more, which is easy to order because it's on the internet. I just hope that I can find the same color. I chose this kind of a camel color just because it's different. The original one was in there was white, and it was so bright when the sun was out, it about blinded you to death. So I want to darken it up a bit. Anyway. Cut the top out, and then I gotta bend these sides, these corners over, fold them in, and then sew them together. But it's gotta be just perfect so it fits in there. Because once you start gluing this, then you're SOL. But I've never done this before, so I'm sure a lot of you have better ideas than me. This is kind of like a fake leather. You can kind of see up close what it looks like. It's kind of got a leather texture to it, and it's soft, feels really nice. The old stuff was hard as a rock because it was kind of rotten. So, and the old stuff had, you know, a bunch of dirt and moldy stuff back here. So this will be all nice and clean. This will give a little insulation value, not much. That's why I put insulation in there. Hopefully my insulation job helps. Plus I'm gonna put I think it's called a Propex heater in there. So that'll be nice. Actually, the Propex heater is gonna be outside. I'm gonna do the van kind so that it doesn't have any gas or anything inside. So here in this part of the video, you'll see me, I built a template off the front of the trailer with some paper. I went in and taped it in there, and then I traced out where the window's gonna be. Because once I sew this together, it's gonna be really hard to, you know, cut the windows out. So I wanted to do it in advance. I also left a little bit of extra material on the edges, so I put in about an extra inch on each side for sewing. Hope that's going to be enough. Once you get this in together, it all has to be one piece and it all has to be glued in at the same time. So you'll see I cut out the window. Plus on the window there you can see my diagram where I've outlined the window, and I actually left in left it a little bit extra material where the window's going to be, because I'm going to cut that out later. I just wanted to have it so that it was easier to manage once the glue gets started, because I didn't have anything to grab onto to pull and stretch. So you'll kind of see how that looks in there now. As you can see, it's going in, and it matches up really well. I used sewing needles to kind of stick into the insulation, just to kind of help hold it down, and then I could get my measurements off my next piece. I've already got the top done. I don't have it sewn together, so that's gonna be one of my next projects. And then I gotta sew the sides on.
I will follow you wherever, and I won't waste this. I'll follow you, yeah. I'll follow you, yeah. Could you come a little closer now? 'Cause I don't wanna slow this down. My heart is screaming out your name. I'm wasted on you. Here we are, right underneath the stars. So let's get a little reckless. You make me breathless, and I won't waste this. And I promise that I will stand by you forever.
Right here, you're seeing me prepare to sew the top to the window and the front window piece. So I'm locking it in with some needles there. I'm gonna sew that across. I left a gap. You'll see about probably an 8-inch piece on each side, and that's where the sidewalls are gonna come into play, because the sidewalls actually go up and curve around the side of the inside and are part of the roof itself, the ceiling. So you'll see that as once we start to get the finished product done.
Yeah, no one makes me feel like you do. I promise that I
So here, what you're watching is I've taken a piece of the material and I've glued it to the pop-up fiberglass piece. Those are pieces of basically the Jeep tie downs, like when you tie down the hood of a Jeep back in the old days. They used those. This was from the 70s, so I mean, just think of a 1971 Jeep in there. You probably just heard my dog. Hold on just a moment. So on this, these hood latches from the old Jeeps, they were just shot. I had to order new ones, and I was lucky to find. Well, there's plenty online. I wasn't lucky. I was just lucky that they were the exact same size, because I had no idea that they would be, and so they were fairly easy and very inexpensive to buy, but they were nice and black, and that's what I wanted. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at it when it's installed. It's glued down. It's a very hard process on gluing it, because obviously this is one big piece, and I'm not an expert by any means. I'm a DIYer, so you can kind of see how the corners came together and where the side was sewn down. And I did leave about 4 inches, as you could see when I was cutting out the windows, so that I could cut the windows out manually later when I knew the exact amount. So I installed the trim on the window, and then I cut it out, so I had plenty of material, and I thought that was the best way, and it ended up being perfect. So you can kind of see how the corners over there kind of worked out. And those are the V's right there. That's the V that I had to sew in, and you saw me sewing those in the top part. And you can come around, and this is how the top is kind of secured in. And you'll see a few things that I've done to it that's not out on video yet, but those will be coming. There's another V. Very hard to glue together, so you'll see some imperfections. Probably would have been easier if I'd had about 4 or 5 people rather than just me and my daughter. it was definitely a challenge. And this is the roof here on this side. I've got it set up to put some more material in, and I'm going to Velcro that down to the wall, come around by the door, and then I'm going to put my kitchen in right there. So you kind of see how that is. The material to the roof, it's a special kind of glue for foam, because all the other glues that I used pretty much just ate the foam, so you have to use this special glue. It's kind of expensive. It's like 24 bucks a can, so I ended up finding the best supply at Uniline.com. I had some off of Amazon, but Uniline was the best supplier for it. This one is clear and transparent. Most of the cans that I had were orange colored, and the color is much better, so that you can actually see where you've sprayed. So just keep that in mind. But they were all out of orange, and so I ended up getting some of the clear. Anyway, thanks for watching. UtahYotas.